What's up, guys? We're live here. A little boom recap for you for Washington, D.C. We got that boomachino. You know what's going on over here. Never slipping on a boomachino. Great card. It was exciting fights, Rob Font and Simon got the fight of the night. That was a great fight back and forth. But we'll start with the main event. Um, Overeem versus Rosenstruik. Overeem was fighting smart. He's a savvy veteran. He came out southpaw looking really good. Um, and he was, trying to paw out that jab hand. He landed a couple takedowns. You could see that he had a significant advantage on the ground as far as jiu-jitsu went with Rosenstruck. But props to Rosenstruck because we haven't seen him go that far in a 5-round fight and stick it through and kind of and outgrit his opponent. We've seen him knock out guys really quick, and that's impressive. But it doesn't tell us a lot about the fighter. We like to see him face adversity and come out on top. So that was a great victory for Rosenstruck, man. What a brutal cut that he left on Overeem's lip with that, buzzer beater knockout. Little bit of a quick stoppage on the punch, but then after looking at that lip, you're like, all right, I'm glad the fight was over. Like, you don't want to see it get worse. Overeem's taken a lot of damage in his career. He's been knocked out plenty of times. And Rosenstruck, he was patient. He had to deal with, Overeem's style of fighting. He's good at avoiding the fight in a sense, and kind of staying on the outside and utilizing his kicks. He landed a couple great body kicks, but those takedowns were significant. Overeem was winning the majority of the fight, to be honest, if you're basing it by points. And Rosenstruck really needed to land something in the end, and he did. He pulled it through. So beautiful KO win by Rosenstruck, finished the fight by knockout. And he's got that hype continuing, and it looks like they're going to aim for an Ngannou fight, which is probably very high in demand by the fans, and Jairzinho seems to want that fight, so that's a big fight next. We had Marina Rodriguez versus Cynthia Calvillo. That was a draw. I was really impressed with Marina Rodriguez's striking, man. She has quick hands. She's she's in and out really fast. She has great knees to the body, great Muay Thai clinch abilities. The one thing is, Cynthia missed weight, and it seemed like it was an advantage in this fight. She's a bigger, stronger girl. Once she was able to take the fight to the ground, she was able to control Marina Rodriguez and really make her work to get up, and that took a toll on her because when you get up like that, that lactic acid buildup in your shoulders, now you got to try to work your striking and you're tired from trying to get up. It did seem like Cynthia's weight played a little bit of a role. She was just heavier on top, stronger on top. Of course, there's technique involved, and she earned those takedowns, but you have to wonder if maybe that weight had some kind of significance in this fight. There's a reason why we got the weight classes. She didn't have to suffer that last 3-4 pounds, which Marina did. So you got to give her props on that. Marina, fighting a tough fight. I thought she was winning the striking clearly. She was landing very good snap kicks to the body, and she was walking forward. She was pressuring. Cynthia was smart to take her down a couple times and advanced position. She was able to push to mount and take the back and land some pretty heavy ground and pound. And I think that's kind of what gave her that even scorecards on the judges. The fight ended up a draw, which was unfortunate, but it happens sometimes. So maybe we'll see them run it back. Maybe we see Cynthia Calvillo move up a weight class. I don't know. It seems like she's had a lot of trouble making weight multiple times. So it might be time for her to move up a weight class, to be honest. And then this one, another nightmare. Stefan Struve versus Ben Rothwell. Struve was finally utilizing his range a lot better, but Rothwell came out strong. He was in his face. Rothwell has that tricky uppercut when he pushes you against the cage. He uses that post hand, and he comes underneath with that big uppercut, which is interesting. He lands a nut shot. Stefan Struve's down, rolling around, clearly hurt bad. Finally, he recovers. He gets back in the fight, right? Then Ben Rothwell lands another nut shot. The crowd is going nuts. They're booing every time Stefan Struve, looks like he might not continue. And then every time he lifts his head up and he's feeling better, they cheer. It was hilarious, but also fucked up because, you go in there and take a nut shot and continue to fight someone. Never mind just fighting someone in general. It's like these fans are just so fickle with the way that they are, like back and forth. They cheer you when you're doing good and then they boo you when you're doing bad. And that's just how the sport is. They just don't give a shit about you. And, it's unfortunate. There's, a lack of respect in that. But what could you do? They put the money in the seats and, they get us paid. So, nonetheless, Ben Rothwell looked pretty good. He was aggressive, and I think he knew he was down because they had taken. Big Dan took a point, and he had to get a finish essentially because he didn't know where the scorecards were. So he came out like a fucking demon, like I gotta finish you because I got a point taken away from me. And, Stefan Struve's like, man, I don't even know if I can continue, but hey, I'm going to do it. He had a lot of peer pressure from the fans. And the big story of the fight was Big Dan, if you noticed, goes up to Stefan Struve and gives him a bunch of advice. And he's real informative about the situation, which I was so curious about that. Like, is that legal? Like, should a ref be doing that? I don't know. It was just weird. Big Dan was like, hey, man, like, you're probably up on the scorecards. If you continue the fight, then you have a good chance at winning. But if you don't, it's a no contest and you're going to lose. I mean, it's kind of cool that he let Stefan Struve know that, but I just wonder, is that like breaking any rules or is the ref allowed to do that? It was just a weird situation. But Stefan Struve gets it together, gets back, and here comes Ben Rothwell right in his face, knowing he needs a finish, and he gets the finish. You can't help but to feel bad for Stefan Struve. He gets hurt twice to the groin, illegal blows. The referee did the right thing at taking a point at Ben Rothwell, but then Stefan Struve has to continue damaged, hurt, and then gets finished, TKO. So it's almost like, what if he couldn't continue? It would have been an easier night. He wouldn't have to take that damage. But nonetheless, Ben Rothwell comes out with a victory, and he needed that one. And he's back on in his winning ways. So we'll see where he goes next. Stefan Struve came out of retirement for that fight. That's great. Aspen Ladd, another person who has struggled on the scale as of late, but she looked a lot better this time around. She defeats Yuna Kunitskaya. You could tell that Aspen Ladd was the stronger fighter, but in this fight, Aspen Ladd had to face a little bit of adversity. Usually, Aspen Ladd clinches up with girls and she just ragdolls them. She's a lot stronger, but Yana Kunitskaya, sorry, hard name to pronounce. I'll stick with Yana. She was giving her a tough task trying to get her down. She seems strong in the clinch too, and she has some good kicks, some good striking. Aspen Ladd was making some crazy noises. She got her back, and she was just scrapping, trying to finish the fight with, volume of blows. But it got out of the round. Yana survived that round. And then in the third round, Aspen Ladd came out strong, man. She landed that big left hook. She timed it really well, and she pounced on her. She knew she had to be a shark in there, and she had to kill. She saw blood. She got the kill. Aspen Ladd looked great. It looked like she her cardio was good. And, she was coming off a bad knockout loss, to Jermaine Durandamy. So, coming off knockout losses, sometimes you see people, they don't perform well, but Aspen Ladd looked great. She looked focused. She didn't look hindered by that last fight. And she got that KO TKO victory. So big win for Aspen Ladd. This fight, man, Cody Stamann versus Song Yadong goes to a draw, another draw on the card. I was upset with this one. I thought Cody Stamann earned the victory. Song Yadong had that illegal knee in the first round, got a point taken away. And still, with that round probably being a 9-9, I thought Cody Stamann came out and clearly won the next two rounds. He was taking Song Yadong down, really utilizing great wrestling timing on the takedowns and controlling Song Yadong on the ground. I believe Song Yadong was exposed in this fight. He had a lot of hype behind him. He had some big knockouts, and he had like he had 100% takedown defense before this fight, but now he faced a real wrestler, and we see where he's lacking in his game. I thought there was a couple times he had like leg lock opportunities, but he didn't really quite know what to do with it. And he looked kind of lost on his back, to be honest. He wasn't good at getting up. He needs to go back and work on his get-ups, work on his jujitsu scrambles, work on his submission ability off his back, and just his overall game off his back. He looked a bit gray there, and I think that they need to match him up right and build him right. Cody Stamann looked great in the fight. He had to face a lot of hype. He was the underdog. He came in, he utilized his game plan greatly, and I thought he did a really smart fight. With starting out kind of convincing Song that he was going to strike with him, and then timing those takedowns beautifully, out positioning him on the ground, passing guard. He probably could have got a finish, in my opinion, if he really put it on him later in that third round. But nonetheless, goes to the decision, and it ends up as a draw. And I was just like, "What the fuck, man?" Hopefully, the UFC pays Cody Stamann. I thought he earned the win, but we'll see what happens. And then we move down to the fight of the night, man. Rob Font versus Ricky Simon. What a fight. Rob Font, very highly skilled fight, and props to Ricky Simon, because I thought he was taking a lot of jabs. He could have got flustered by the striking, but he didn't. He got better and better as the fight went on. He came alive, and Rob Font really good with switching those stances. He has a good southpaw stance where he stood really low and he moves his head really well. Great boxing style for Rob Font. Ricky Simon was really trying to push the wrestling with those takedown timing. A lot of shots. I thought that the big key in this fight was who was backing who up. When Rob Font backed Simon up, he was doing great. Vice versa, when Simon backed Font up, he was doing great. As the fight went on, it seemed like both of these fighters got better and better. Rob Font says he starts slow in the first round, and I can understand that, because you're feeling a guy out a little bit, trying to see how things are, and then you come alive, you get hit a little bit, and the fight gets crazier. But yeah, I thought Rob Font clearly won. He outstruck Simon. Simon did land some takedowns, but he didn't do a lot with them. Font stayed smart, didn't get in really, really bad position, gets himself back to the cage, works his way up, does a good job at that. But the cardio on these guys was phenomenal. Bantamweights are fucking hot right now. Everybody's looking like killers. So great fight in the bantamweight division, and a great victory for Rob Font. We know that he was supposed to fight Cody Stamann in a previous event. That fight fell through. So I'm thinking they might book that fight next. It seems like that makes a lot of sense. So we'll see what happens. But man, they definitely deserved the bonus. That was beautiful. Beautiful performance by both of those guys, really. The prelims, we had the Dirty Bird, baby, Tim Means. This guy is mean. I love watching him fight. He's gritty. He gets in your face. He's long, rangy for the weight class. He gave Thiago Alves no space. He was in his face, and he utilizes that range, man. And what he showed us is that he's well-rounded. He's not just a striker. He had some good takedowns. He had some good clinch pressure. And even if he was just threatening the takedowns just to have a little bit more success on the feet, he did a great job at that. I was really impressed with Tim Means. Comes away with the sub. And you know what? A lot of guys are criticized for going for a submission when a guy's rocked, because all you got to do is throw a couple of more shots and you finish the fight by TKO. But Tim Means knows himself. Knowing yourself as a fighter is a strength. It takes a lot of years to find yourself as a fighter. Where are your strengths? Where are your good finishing abilities? What are you better at? Do you have power to knock guys out ground and pound? Noticing where your opponent's weak, what is available in that scenario when it's chaos in there. And Tim Means hurts Thiago Alves. He has him hurt. He probably could keep ground and pounding him, but you never know. He latches on his neck out of nowhere and just puts that guillotine pressure on quick, man. Submits him. Really impressive stuff, man. Tim Means with a big victory. He's out there trying to put food on his table for his 4 kids, and we saw the weight struggles with the weight. I got to talk about that, man. They need to go with a digital scale. That calibrated scale with the fucking thing moving up and down. This guy has no idea what he's doing. He's trying to move it, by the 0.2s, 0.3s, and see where guys are. You just don't get the good reading with those scales, man. You need The digital scale tells you right there 171.2, 171.0. You ain't going to get a messed up number. It's not going to be tricky. So, go back to the digital scale. I don't know what was going on at these weigh-ins, but something was confusing with that scale. It was, it was off a little bit. We weigh in the back. Tim Means weighed in the back. He was on weight, comes out to the official scale, and he's dealing with a problem. He's getting in the hoop. He's taking his underwear off. You're all shriveled up and shit. He's like, please cover me up. And then he's still off of weight. Now you got to go back and put a sweatsuit on and try to lose 0.2 pounds. Come on, man. I don't understand that. Go back to the digital. Boom. Billy Quarantino, what a debut, man. Jacob Kilburn steps in short notice. Quarantino looks sharp, man. He gets his black belt awarded to him after the fight, and it's well-deserved, man, because he looked like a black belt out there with those submission scrambles, armbar, to taking the back, to triangle, everything, man. Arm triangles. He was hitting everything. He was looking sharp on the ground. He was complete domination on the ground, to be honest. And we didn't get to see a lot of his striking, but he looked sharp. But we do know now that this guy's a big threat on the ground, off his back, on top, whatever it is. He's a seasoned black belt. Congrats to him on that debut. He was an Ultimate Fighter guy, Contender Series, and now he got his big debut in the UFC. So beautiful submission win by Billy Quarantino. Bryce Mitchell, Thug Nasty. Holy shit, the guy hits the twister. What's his favorite board game? Twister. What's his favorite 90s movie? Twister. What's his favorite submission? Twister. The guy's fucking out of his mind, but I love him. Give him the camo shorts. He's the only one that deserves camo shorts, all right? The guy sawed his nutsack off, and now he's fighting in the UFC, hitting twisters. Come on now. Give him his camo shorts. Bryce Mitchell is a breath of fresh air. He's a star, man. They need to promote this guy more. I love watching this guy fight. I love watching this guy talk. And Matt Sales is no joke, man. The guy's been in tough wars, and he's not a guy that gives up, And Bryce Mitchell gets down, and this is not a high percentage submission. This is something that's really hard to get in the training room. You got to be really efficient at it. And guys that know it's coming, they're really smart with the defense on it. But like he said, it was either he was going to hit the submission, or Matt Sales was going to get his grip together and defend it, and he was going to get ground and pounded. So it's a great submission it's a great position for offense, to land ground and pound or to threaten a submission. He hits it, gets to 50 G's, submission of the night. Unbelievable, man. That's the second time we've ever seen that in UFC history. That's crazy. Can't finish a boom breakdown without a couple sniffles. Deviated septum. Fuck. Joe Selecki debuting also. He's fighting Matt Wyman, who I gotta say, man, Matt Wyman, I think his time is done. He's in there taking a lot of damage. He's been in the game a while. He took a hiatus from the game for a long time. Joe Selecki, newcomer coming in, complete domination, wins the 3-round decision. Matt Wyman was pretty upset with the style fight that Joe Selecki was putting on him. He was digging his head. He reversed the position. He was like digging his forehead into Selecki's face towards the end of the fight. Just mean, just pissed off, frustrated. But you know what, man? It just seems like Matt Wyman doesn't have it anymore. He's losing to the new guys coming in. And when you see that, you got to go back and reassess and see where you're at and, see if you still want to do this, But Joe Selecki with an impressive debut, well-rounded performance, and congrats to him as well. Early prelims, Verna Jandaroba versus Mallory Martin, who came in at short notice. Props to her for taking the fight, but she ends up losing. She showed a little bit of grayness on the ground. Verna takes her back, gets that submission from the back. It was in for a little while. Mallory could have quit earlier, but it took her a couple attempts, and she gets rear naked choked. Maybe she needs to go back, work on her game a little bit, get a full training camp, and get back to the drawing board. But impressive win by Verna. She had the sick hat on the way out. I don't know what that was, but it was pretty cool. And she gets the big victory in round 2 by sub. The money team, baby. Makhmud Muradov, TMT, Floyd Mayweather's prodigy, knocks out Trevor Smith with a brutal right hand. This guy has very impressive striking, man. And it's not even really a boxing style. It's more MMA striking, but he's really tricky. He's hard to predict. And watch out for this guy to do big things, man, because he's throwing some bombs in there. He has a lot of power. And, Trevor Smith is no joke. He's a tough guy to finish. And this guy knocks him out round 3. And, shows durability, shows he has the cardio, and shows he has the finishing ability to put guys away. So Makhmud Muradov, watch out for that guy. TMT, baby. And that's it, man. That's it for the card. It was great fights, Washington. Let's get to some questions here. I see we got some in the I see we got a little bit of questions down here, baby. We're kicking. We need a little bit more action. We need a little bit more dialogue, but we got you. We got you. Adam Rose, what's up? I know the Rothwell fight, crazy, man. I was fucking laughing. I felt bad for Struve, but it was kind of funny how the crowd was doing that shit. Cynthia was on Instagram Live 30 minutes ago and was clapping back at people who roasted her for missing weight. Unprofessional. Yeah, you know what? There's just something about her that rubs me the wrong way. I don't know what it is, but it seems like she doesn't have any remorse for being unprofessional. I don't like that. If you miss weight and it's on you, you got to take your faults and own up to it. You can't be chirping back at people for calling you out for something you did wrong. That's your job. Make weight, fight. I've missed weight before and it's my fucking fault, and you got to own it. I've corrected it. I've made changes, and we're back in action, baby. Learn from your mistakes, grow. Connor Lodge, what's up, buddy? I see you. I hit a 9-1 bet on Billy by submission. Wow. That's cool, man. Congratulations. Put that money in the bank, invest it, or bet it all again. Why not? You live once, right? Put it on the fucking line. I'm putting all my money on me. UFC 246, January 18th. Boom. Why not, right? Put the whole bank on yourself. Man. Oh my God, Kelleher is the shorter Trevor Smith, but way more skills, obviously. Thanks, yo. That's hilarious you say that because I thought that when I saw him fighting. I'm like, is that me? Am I there? Am I in the cage right now, or am I home in bed watching this? I have no idea. I feel like that's me, but I look bigger. Nah, that's not me. I'm here. I'm better looking, right? I mean, I'm a little more handsome, I feel. I mean, I'm missing a fucking tooth, but I got nice skin. I got nice blue eyes, baby fucking blues, nice little beard, good skin. I thought I looked a little better, but fuck them. Yeah, no, I saw the resemblance. It's kind of funny. I look like multiple people. I look like Trevor Smith. People call me Whitey Mouse. I look like Demetrius Johnson, but the white version, they say. It's kind of funny. I think it's the ears from the back and the round bald head, Uh, Freethinker 88, boom. Who are you fighting? I am fighting Ode Osborne from the Contender Series. Tough guy. He's a gritty guy coming in, newcomer, trying to make his debut. But fuck him. He ain't taking my job away. I got fire. I'm back. That wasn't me in my last fight. Do not think that was me, because if you do, that's a mistake. Boom, baby. Adam Rose, thank you. Boom. What is your favorite pizza place to eat at on the island? To be honest with you, man, I haven't had pizza in probably like a year or more. I'm a big boneless wing guy. When I have cheat night, once a week, I'm a big like buffalo chicken sandwich type of guy with sweet potato fries and bar food type of style, because I don't ever eat that stuff. So once I get my hands on something, I go nuts with the bar food. I like Italian, but Italian makes me feel fucking terrible. Makes me feel worse than fast food, to be honest. Just heavy pasta. So I wait till after the fight for that stuff. But pizza, I'd say Cafe Amici is pretty good. I think there's a place on Portion Road at the end. I forget the name of it, but it stays open really, really late. I used to go there when I was younger, and I was fucking, drunk from the clubs. And, after we would stop there and get some nice couple slices, cheap but delicious. I forget the name of it. It's down on Portion Road in the Ronkonkoma. Boneless pizza? Yeah. I'm a Suffolk guy. Suffolk County, baby. Boom. But yeah, let's check Twitter. Let's check Twitter and Instagram. See if we got anything here. Man, people are slacking on these questions. Come on, we need questions, baby. We need questions because I got answers. But where are the questions? I don't know. Let's go to Twitter. Tweety tweety. It looks like people are slacking here, to be honest with you. It's just me and you guys. All right. But thank you all for tuning in. That was a great card last night. Boom, baby. I'm gonna be fighting UFC 246 January 18th. I'm excited for that, to put on a good performance, put on a good show, and display my true potential and show myself how good I really know that I am, and that's what I need to prove. Nobody else, prove to yourself that you're your best self. That's the most important thing. You're your biggest competition. That's the truth. So UFC 246 January 18th. Tune into that. Give me a thumbs up on the video. I really appreciate it. That helps. Subscribe to my channel. You guys are the best. Thank you for, being a Boom fan. Thank you for tuning into my channel. If you could share this, that'd be great. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at BrianBoom135. And we will be back to break down UFC December 14th, man. We got Usman, Covington. We got Nunez, Durandamy. We got Holloway and Volkanovski. So that card's coming up. Can't wait for that one. Vegas. Boom.